everybody, I'm Bobb Rayner. Welcome once again to another edition of the Auto Showcase. On this week's program, we're going to be taking a look at a purpose-built racing car, along with a close look at many of the automobiles you can buy and drive from dealerships here in York County. Let's take a look at what those are. That's a look at some of the cars we'll be seeing on this edition of the Auto Showcase program. And as I mentioned, don't forget we're going to take a close look at this Porsche 924 race car and see how some of the things on a racing car share similar structures with that on your everyday passenger or street car. Lots to come on the Auto Showcase program. Let's get started. The name Porsche has been synonymous with racing for many years. Porsche 944 has been a successful race car. This particular car campaigned in the GT-3 category of SCCA Racing. And here's Don Meluzio, president of York Chrysler Plymouth and York Mitsubishi, fine sponsor here in the Auto Showcase program. And Don has consented to show us some of the details that make up his GT3 racer, the Porsche 944 we see here. Don, welcome to the program.
Hi, Bob.
Let's take a bit of a moment here perhaps and talk about history first. Where did this car come from?
In 1979, Porsche decided that they'd like to try to win a national championship, and they brought 7 of these cars to the United States. It was built by Al Holbert in Warrington, Holbert Racing, and it was the first one in the United States.
Okay, let's take a look at it now and see how it differs from a street car. First of all, look at this door. It really isn't much of a door at all.
Yeah, just on here. It's completely gutted and just an aluminum skin.
For weight saving, I would
Exactly.
say. Now let's go on the inside of the car. We'll see, first of all, this structure, this cage.
This car is extremely rigid. Probably the two things were driver safety was the first concern, and then the other thing is rigidity for cornering. And it's
There's no dashboard, no carpets, nothing?
Nothing. The seat's made of fiberglass.
When it's a purpose-built race car, they mean exactly that.
Positive.
Not many.
No, it's about all you need. Worry about the oil pressure, the tack. You know, you look at the oil pressure a few times throughout the race.
And what's that lever down there in the middle there with that red handle?
Okay, that's a brake biasing bar. If you want to bias the brakes towards the front, you just click it a couple clicks towards the front or one at a time. Same thing if you want to go towards the rear, you just click it towards the rear.
Speaking of brakes, Don, here's a disc brake right here. People can see that that disc turns in there. There's vent holes, right, to cool it down. And pads in the piston that squeeze pads against that disc. Some people never really did see how that works. See how easy they are to change. You pull that disc brake pad right out of there. And that's the same brake you say that you find on the street car?
Yeah, that's a street application, 924 turbo and 928 rear caliper.
So here's an instance where street cars and race cars
and it works perfectly on the racetrack.
Great deal of similarity. Underneath here, this is where the transmission and the rear differential fits on this particular car. Notice a lot of holes drilled all over. Why is that?
Well, just for chassis lightening, getting the weight out. Even the sway bars are hollow for less unsprung weight.
Well, with the engine removed from the front of the car, it gives us a clearer look at some of the suspension components we have up here. For example, Don, this big anti-roller, anti-sway bar, why is it so thick compared to a street car? Do you know?
It's hollow, Bob. It's less unsprung weight that way.
Saves weight there. Okay, we've taken the bolts off, and we'll drop the sway bar down a moment to give the audience a clearer look at the rack and pinion steering system. That's what you see here. That shaft up there comes from the steering wheel down into this box where your pinion gear is. And if I rotate the wheels, you can see how the car is steered directly, how those rods connect to the wheels to change direction with the rack and pinion steering. That's just like a street car, isn't it, Don?
That's a steering box out of a Porsche 944.
So that's like a lot of different cars with a rack and pinion steering, but of course they have adjustability things added into it for racing adjustments, right? And you have here a stainless steel air-equipped braided hose. The entire plumbing system in this Porsche 924 race car is plumbed with this type of stainless steel hose. Why do you use that?
Well, it's shielded, Bob, for explosion, for heat purposes. It won't wear through.
High pressure, high temperature resistance as well.
Right.
Very expensive stuff, I noticed, in a race car. So all cars have plumbing and hoses, but street cars don't necessarily go to this extent for protection, for braided stainless steel. That's really terrific. Don, we'd like to thank you for showing us your Porsche 924 racing car, and we're going to show you more of the cars you can buy and drive on the street when the Auto Showcase continues in just a moment. As always, remember that the specifications we show you on the Auto Showcase program are subject to change without notice. Check with your dealer to make sure that you get the vehicle that's just right for you. Our special thanks also goes out to Don Meluzio, president of York Chrysler Plymouth and York Mitsubishi. We thank Don for taking some time out to show us the inner workings of his GT3 Porsche 924 racing car.
A lot more to come on future editions of the Auto Showcase program as we take a look at the vehicles of 1990 that you can buy and drive. Until next time, this is Bobb Rayner saying thanks for watching.